Well, welcome back. At least I got the sound fixed, y'all. I am so sorry about that. I don't know what was wrong with it. It had a real bad echo, but welcome to Sweet Blessings, the Anna L. Brothers Show and podcast, where we come every Wednesday to inspire, to encourage, and to empower you to live a healthy and fulfilling, blessed lifestyle. And so I'm Anna. I'm the host. I'm also a retired school teacher, an author, and educational consultant, a jewelry consultant, a health consultant, and I'm also a certified cake instructor. And so I bring to you, excuse me, a wealth of knowledge and conversations and experience to our conversations. Each episode, we dive into topics that will enrich our lives, whether it's through education or personal development to health, wellness, and of course, the art of jewelry. This is done through workshops and speakers and sometimes just doing research, okay? Basically, what I'm doing here on financial freedom. That's what my next series is on financial freedom. And so I'm glad that you decided to join me as we explore inspiring stories, expert insights, and practical advice to help us live a blessed and fulfilling lifestyle. So thank you again for tuning in to Sweet Blessings, where every conversation is a treasure. So, I've been talking to you about budgeting, okay? And we know that budgeting is a necessity in our life, even though a lot of us don't do budgeting. I am one of those ones that did not do budgeting. I am just not getting into budgeting in my later years of wisdom. Let's put it like that. But the difference between budgeting is the difference between a need and a want, you all. And so, a need is something that is essential for your survival or your well-being. Whereas, and by that I mean food, water, shelter, clothing, healthcare, those essential things. And then a want is something you would like to have but can live without. So an example of that would be the designer clothes, the designer handbags, a luxury car, the latest phone, okay, what the young people usually, sometimes you get out of that as you get older. So if you can't function properly without it, then it is a need. And if you just if you would just make life more enjoyable, it's a want. And so the purpose of tonight is to align those goals, align our goals and our budget with align our goals with our budget, and also align our goals with our values. Okay, so we're going to take a brief commercial. Sorry I had to start over, but there was some bad communication or connection there. So we're going to take a brief commercial now, and then we're going to come back to talk about aligning the goals. We're going to talk about aligning the goals to aligning your budget to your goals first.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to CTRmedianetwork.com.
All right, we are back, and I'm Anna. I'm the host of Sweet Blessings, the Anna L. Brothers Show and Podcast, where we come every Wednesday to inspire, encourage, and empower you to live a blessed and fulfilling lifestyle. This month, if you don't know it, it is Financial Month. April is considered the financial month where you learn everything about finance. So, sticking to my theme, we want to have financial freedom. And in order for us to have financial freedom, we have to learn how to budget, y'all. Now, last week I gave you a list of budgeting this because there's different types. I didn't even know that. Some of them I used, but I didn't know the name of them. Okay, so there were different types of budgeting. So the budgeting episode was so long that I had to break it up into two parts. And so this evening we are going to be talking about. I got to pull up my slide. Hold on. We're going to be talking about aligning our goals. Hold on, let me. With remember, I had to go out and come back in. It's so sad that I had to do that, but I did, and so therefore I am a little boggled, but it's okay. We will be there in a minute. So, tonight what we're going to do is we're going to align our goals with our budget. And then after that, we're going to align our budget with our values so that you can kind of see how it goes. I'm trying to wait now for my slide to appear, to come up, because I do have a slide presentation. Okay, building a budgeting with a purpose part 2. Excuse me. I'm going to say excuse me because I'm boggled because I had to go out and come back in. It was I was having some type of technical difficulty. So tonight we want to talk about aligning goals to budget. And the first thing that we really want to do is to set clear goals, short-term and long-term goals. And we want to break our goals into categories. And so our short-term goals are those goals that we want to accomplish from their beginning to 12 months, let's say a year. And in that time, you might want to pay off a credit card debt, and also maybe to save. These are just examples. Or maybe you have your own budget. You have to do your own budget how you see fit, and save $500 for emergency fund. So I want to save $500 for emergency fund because I think that might be why I am in the, how you get into financial problems, because you don't have any money set aside for emergency. You use all your money for the same thing. We can't do that. We can't do that. You've got to have money for emergencies, and then you'll still be able to continue on with your journey and save. So the second goal is midterm. So that's anything from 1 to 3 years. Okay. And in that time, you might want to buy a car or plan a vacation in that midterm goal. And then your long-term goals, that's 3+ years. You might want to buy a home. You might want to be able to retire comfortably. And so what you have to do is to ask yourself what matters most now. What do I want later? That's how you got to align your goals. You got to look at it and you got to align your goals to that. So let's move on. The next thing is that you want to assign each goal a dollar value, and a deadline. So most of the times we might assign a dollar value to it, but we don't put a deadline on it. We got to put a deadline on it. You want to establish how much each goal will cost. And then you want to set realistic deadlines. You want to, now here's an example. Say, for instance, you want to save for a vacation, and it costs $1,200 for the vacation. So, if the vacation probably is one of those midterm goals, which in turn is from 1 to 3 years. So you set up here to save $100 a month so that you can reach your goal. So you want to be able to set realistic goals when you are trying to align your budget, your goals to your budget. I'm hoping this will help you, because it has helped me a great deal. And then the next thing that you want to do is create a purpose-driven budget. Now, a lot of us create budgets. This is my first time ever hearing about a purpose-driven budget. And that is a budget where you look at your needs, you look at your wants, you look at your goals. So your needs, you got to pay your rent or your mortgage. You got to pay that. You got to eat. And you got to have lights and your phone and all those. Those are needs. You got to have those. So you know right away where you have to put them. The wants, not so necessary. It's something that you want. So that's like dining out, going to the fast food, entertainment, going to concerts and stuff like that. And then the third thing is goals, savings, debt payment, investment. That's creating a purpose-driven budget. Your budget is based upon your needs, your wants, and your goals. Now, another one, which I talked about last week, you can also use the 50-30-20 rule. I just gave you an example of the value-based budget. So 50-30-20 rule, or a value-based budget. So 50% needs, so that means you're going to put 50% of your money for your needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for financial goals. Now, sometimes we kind of lack away from that financial goals, and you notice that it is at the end of the creating a purpose-driven budget, as well as the 50-30-20 rule. And sometimes we kind of lack or forget about that goal. You got to put things away to save, and that's what I'm learning. What I'm truly learning about myself is that I have been doing these things, but I have not been consistent with it, you all, because I really didn't truly think that it was going to work. But now that I've seen the research, I said, oh my God, I was on the right track and just didn't stay on that right track. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of times, a lot of us do those types of things only because we don't know. So I'm at the point in my life where I need to know. So I have to do research. When you don't know, you get into trouble. So I just decided that if it's something that I don't know, I'm going to look into it. And I say that to you all too. If it's something that you want me to look into, shoot me an email. I always tell people that you can reach out to me at my website, or you can reach out to me on my email as well. So if you got any questions or anything, and you can also reach out to me on CTI. I'm sorry, y'all. You can also reach out to me on CTI Media Network. sweet blessings. Okay, so those are the different ways that you can reach out to me if you got questions or anything um, like that or anything. So remember, try to create a purpose-driven budget, and you can also use the 50-30-20 budget as well. Let's go on. So you want to have a system. You need to track your spending consistently. And this is another area where a lot of people will fall behind. But there's some tools out here, you all, that can help you. And that is you can use tools like Google Sheets. And if you have Google, you already have Google Sheets. Or you can use EveryDollar. Make sure your spending aligns with your goals every month. So that means that you need to, every so often, or every few months, or every month, whatever system you want to take up, you want to check or track, have some type of way of tracking your spending. Okay, let me see. It might be ready for, no, not quite. Almost. We'll take a commercial after the next slide. You all, life changes. Life changes. So when your life changes, you have to change your budget. Things happen in life. That's why you need to review your budget monthly or quarterly. Because if something arises or there's a change in your income, it might shift your funds accordingly. So it's an ongoing process. So you need to adjust your budget as your life changes. And we all know life changes from day to day. So we're going to take I'm going to do one more. And then we're going to take a commercial break. Because this one is very important. Celebrate small wins. I know you've heard me say celebrate small wins many, 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 many times. It's the big wins are important, but it's those small wins that get you to that big win. It is the small wins that get you to that big win. All right, so we're going to take a commercial. And when I come back, I'm going to kind of briefly go back over those budget plans that I gave you last week. So just to kind of remind you of them as well. And then we're going to talk a little bit about aligning your values to your budget. I'll be right back.
Here's why you need to tune in right now. With CTR Media Network, you can transform your knowledge into a fully produced TV show. Imagine your content streaming on platforms like Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and Amazon Fire TV, reaching over 350 million households in 140 countries. We take care of everything, from managing your ready-to-go content to global distribution. And it's not just any content, it's edutainment, a perfect blend of education and entertainment that keeps viewers coming back for more. You'll join a vibrant community of thought leaders, podcasters, and educators, all sharing a passion for impactful content and global reach. Plus, with our app available on Google Play and the App Store, your show will be accessible to millions more, ready to shine on the global stage. Let's get you started. Schedule a 15-minute call with us today and turn your idea into a TV sensation. Reply to this video by saying, "I want to learn more." Don't wait, your audience is out there waiting.
All right, we are back. And with that being said, I just want to let you know that I do have advertising sponsors and commercial slots available. I have packets that if you're interested in advertising on Sweet Blessings. I also have, if you're interested in becoming a guest on Sweet Blessings, then you can also reach out to me at listine1@gmail.com. And you heard me talk about my jewelry business. So I do go live on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays with my jewelry. And I go live on Instagram, as well as I go live on Facebook. And that's my Facebook as well as my Instagram account there. So I wanted to make sure that I shared that with you this evening. And we are back. So now what I want to do is to tell you, last week I talked about the different types of budget. There was the zero-based budget. Okay, there was the zero-based budget. And every dollar gets a job in that one. Income minus expenses equals zero. Every dollar is a sign you give, save, spend, and debt. It's great for people who like structure and control. Then the other, and then I even gave you tools where you could go and use that. Tools would be Excel, Google Sheet, Every Dollar app. And then the second one was 50-30-20 budget. And that is a simple and balanced approach where I just talked about, you give 50% to your needs, 30% to your wants, and then 20% to your savings and debt. It's great for busy people and beginners. And budget apps or easy worksheets are the kind of the tools that you would use for that. Pay yourself first budget. I use this one all the time. Save first, spend what's left. Automatically save or invest when you get paid, and then you spend after saving. It's great for long-term savers and future focus. And the tools that you would use for that is automatic transfer and then a savings plan. And a lot of us have that. When you get paid, it automatically splits it up. They might send some of your money to your savings account, and then the rest of it might go into your other accounts. So, and then there's the cash envelope system. See it, touch it, spend it wisely. You put cash in envelopes by categories, and when it's gone, it's gone. And I've never used this, but if anyone has, you might have seen it on Pinterest. I've seen where they had the different envelopes in a folding envelope, and they put money in each there. And then by the time you finish all of that up, you have saved so much money. And then this was great. This is the one I need to use then. The great for overspenders or visual learners. Cash or digital envelopes, good budget app is a good one for that. And then the values-based or purpose-driven budget is a budget with heart and intention. It's a budget based on what matters most to you. You're going to align your spending with your values. That's faith, family, fun, and freedom. It's great for those who hate strict rules, but love intentional living. And that's me. So what I found out about this budgeting is you're going to use all of them I believe, to extent. But I think that the main one, and I didn't even know about this one, the value-based or purpose-driven budget is the one that we should be doing. This one, the tools, is a reflective journal, a vision board, or customized templates. This is the one that we need to focus on. This one here. The other ones, yeah, we can do those. But I just really believe that this is the one that we need to focus on. And then we have number 6 is the no budget, and that's automatic and lie and live without limits. You automatic build savings and give and spend the rest freely, however you want to. And that's great for high discipline or high income earners. The tools that we use for that is automatic pay, separate spending accounts for that one. And then this is the last one in this, and then I have one more that I want to share with you, and that was this one is reverse budgeting. And so you start with your goals and then build a plan. You set a goal, debt free, vacation, home, etc. And then you work backwards to fund it. It's great for dreamers and goal getters. The tools for this one is goal setting, worksheets, and sinking funds. And then the last one that I want to talk to you about, because there is a bonus style for couples or families. I know. Did you all know that? You might have known it. I didn't know that. Okay. I wish I had known when when I was married and had all that. I just didn't know, but we did pretty good in the savings department. But unity over money fights. So you're going to have a monthly budget meeting, and that is the couples or the whole family is going to have a monthly budget. You're going to share the goals, your spending limits, and dreams, and everyone has a voice. So then I talked to you, I said you need to know, you have to figure out which one of those styles that I just went over is best for you. I found out that the one that is best for me is the one I had not even been using. And the thing about this is you would not know all of these styles unless some type of research or you had a class. I never had a class with all these different styles of budgeting. So maybe they do teach it in business or finance or something. I don't know. I just know that I never had it. And so I am just learning now what I need to do to budget. So let's move on because we want to talk about well, let's take another commercial. Then we're going to come back and talk about those values and how we align them. Gotta make sure. Okay, let's go to the commercial. Okay, we are back. And so Lady Wigs is one of my affiliates. And you see me from time to time wearing their wigs. I love them. I love their wigs, okay? And it's just great when I'm really having a bad hair day. But they make custom wigs. So, and they're great for those people who are suffering from cancer or anything like that. So if you feel like, just check it out. Check out my website on that, or my link. That's my link before, but you can always personal message me. What I said in that on that Lacine1 at gmail dot com. So let's get back to our program here. Because we are talking about aligning our values to our budget. That's what we're talking about this evening. And let's bring this back up to the stage. So, what matters most to you? And that's what you have to decide. So some examples of that is family, faith, health, freedom, education, generosity, security, and adventure. So you must decide what really matters to you. All of our goals, remember, all of our goals are different. Then after you decide what is valuable or what you truly care about, then you need to define what those values look like in daily life. For example, health. When you think about health, you're going to think about a gym membership, maybe doing some food planning. Lord have mercy. Food planning is a task, y'all. It's a task. And then you have wellness checkups. So all of that comes on the health. So when you're thinking about your budget and your values, your health, that's health values. You know, you want to be healthy, you want to exercise, so you got to put all of those things in that budget. Let's look at family. These are just examples I'm giving you. With your family, you want to spend quality time. You want to go on vacations, and you want to celebrate birthdays and those type of things. So you got to put into place money so that you can have that quality time with your family, so that you can have that vacation, and so that you can celebrate those birthdays. I notice that when it's a specific event, we have a tendency to say more. Well, oh, we got this coming up. And I did it myself, because when I got married, I saved for my marriage. So each time I got paid, I put money aside for my marriage, to do my stuff. So we had to continue to do that stuff, not just for a specific event, but the event is you. You got to do it for you. That's all I got to say. And then the other thing is generosity, which it means, and most of us do this. You give to your church, or you give to causes you care about. We already, like I said, some of these things we already do. What you got to do though is you got to align them with your values. Okay, that's basically what I'm saying here today, and it's also what I have learned. So the next thing, and you hear me saying it over and over again, is you want to review your current spending. Look at where your money is going each month. Ask, does this support what I said I care about? You might know that you can ask yourself questions. Ain't nothing wrong with asking yourself questions. That means that you're thinking. You might notice a lot of takeout, but your value is health, or on stuff but not giving. So after you do your budget, you're going to notice some things. You're going to notice that, hey, I didn't know I was spending that much money on food or going out that much. You're going to see those things. You won't see them if you don't do a budget. You're going to see them. So let me go on So remember I said you want to create a value-based budget. You want to give every dollar a purpose that reflects your values. You want to cut or adjust expenses that don't align. And then you want to allocate money towards what matters most. And y'all, it doesn't it doesn't matter how much. It could be $5. It could be $10. Just you can use $20 a month to start. You gotta start. You gotta start. And then don't mess with it. You got all your other money to mess with. See, that was my problem. I messed with mine. And then every time something come up, I go and get, you know what I'm saying? I've learned, though. I've learned that you got to have an emergency fund. And I've told you this before. I'm in a club, and I suggested we get an emergency. The club got an emergency fund, and I don't have an emergency fund. So I say, when I tell you, some of the times I know what to do, but I just have not been consistent with it. And you might be the same as me. But it's time for us to wake up and smell the coffee and get our acts together. And so that is what I am advocating, is getting my act together. So you always want to revisit regularly. It's check and balance. You got to check to see if you're still doing what you're supposed to be doing. You got to check yourself. And like I said, values can shift in seasons of life. So you want to check in every few months to make sure your spending will still reflect your current purchases. You've got to look at that. And then let's move on. You want to celebrate small wins. Every goal met. Even saving $25 a week is progress. So celebrate and stay motivated. That's what you need to do. Now, I'm trying to see. I don't think I did put this on here, but I am going to... no, let's go back. I do want to tell you about the different apps. I want to go back over those different apps that I talked about last week. And one of them was the Google Sheets or Excel. It's best for customizing budget. You can build your own value-based budget or goals tracker with formulas, charts, and tabs for each goal. And then it's easy to share and update from any device. So that's the Google Sheets or Excel. The Every Dollar, this is by Dave Ramsey. And it's best for zero-based budgeting. It's easy. You drag and drop budgeting, sync with bank accounts, paid version, and helps, that means that's the paid version of that app, and help assign every dollar a purpose. You have the YNAB, you need a budget. It's best for goal tracking, budget mindset shift. It teaches you to give every dollar a job, save for future expenses, and align with financial goals, including workshops too. It's great for building habits and changing money behavior. Mint, now into Credit Karma. It's best for expense tracking, automatic categorizing. And then it says, why connect? I think it says it connects to bank account, sends alerts, and all of those types of things. So let's go on. I think I want to show another commercial. then we will come back. All right, we are back, and I'm gonna. These are just some of the areas when you're preparing a budget. Now, there's some categories that should go in your budget, and these are just examples because your categories might not be all of these categories, or it might be more. But we know we're gonna have housing in there. We gotta have utilities, groceries, transportation, health, and wellness, savings, debit, debt, debt, debt payment, giving, charity, entertainment, education, families, activities, personal care, emergency fund, and others. So, like it says, you might. And then after you have each category, then next to each category, you should have a budget line. And you're going to have the budget lines should be specific. So if you have housing, then next to it, you're going to have how much you're going to budget. So your mortgage might be $100. So you need to budget. So the next one would be the amount spent. So if it's $100, you're going to spend $100. What if it goes up? Then you got to make an adjustment because it happens. You got to, if it goes up to maybe 120, then you've got to go back and revisit your budget and make an adjustment for that difference. I just want to make sure that you all are understanding what you got to do when there's a shift, because sometimes you do get that shift. So I do want to, we're not going to take another commercial, I don't think. But I just want to, because I got started late and I had technical difficulty getting on here this evening, unfortunately. But I do hope that some of these things that I have shown you this evening is inspiring. I hope some of these things that I showed you are encouraging. I hope some of these things that you heard this evening empowered you to live a fulfilling, and blessed life. And what I want to leave you with, because, I always ask all of my people who come on, what is it, one thing that you want to leave with the audience? And so this evening, I want to leave with you this. A budget is not a punishment. It's permission to spend with purpose. When your budget reflects your why, it feels empowering, not restricting. So remember that, y'all. So, as I close out, I have some upcoming events. We're just about at the end of this, not at the end of this series, at the end of the budget. So I have some upcoming events that I would like to show you as well. That is coming up in a few weeks. After this, next week, our next episode is going to be on crushing that debt. Crushing that debt. So I also want to leave you with my 3 most important things, words in my life I hope that it's important in your life as well. And that is live your life. Live your life to the fullest, you all. Do things that make you happy, you know. The second thing is to laugh. Make sure that you have some type of laughter in your day. Um, it's just good for you. And then the third thing is to love. Love everybody, but most of all, love yourself. Thank you this evening for tuning in again to the Anna L. Brothers Show and Podcast, where we inspire, encourage, and empower you to live a blessed and a healthy lifestyle. See you next Wednesday.